Well, hello there. How's everyone doing today?
Hey kitties, what's going on?
What's going on? What's happening? What's popping? What's crack-a-lacking?
How y'all doing? What's
I
going
know,
on?
right?
What y'all doing? What's up? That's all I got.
Right.
That's all I got. Um,
Yes.
Happy Wednesday. Yeah, like that's where I'm at. Like, happy Wednesday.
Right.
Oh God. I need to see y'all faces. I'm so happy to see y'all. Hey, Scissor Hands. I didn't get to talk to you. I'm sending you some speedy recovery, and I know you are doing everything you need to do to get yourself better. So I appreciate that, and I love you. Um,
What, he got the nasty woman's disease?
no. He just he went in. He went in for some just a little light. A little light.
I'll be looking. I'll be looking
Right.
behind the ears for some scars.
He's gonna look well rested for the next year or two. But
Oh,
he's
well, God bless him.
he's fine. He's fine. He's fine. Eccentric, good to see you. DC Under Universe, what's going on? Atlas, what's going on? A happy, is that anniversary or house anniversary? I think it is. I couldn't remember which one. I
It's
got a little
house
confused.
anniversary.
House anniversary. Okay. Happy house anniversary to you
1 year in the house, but they got married in November. So,
Yeah, I was a little confused. I was like, now wait a minute. That's only I was like, what? Okay. So, but yes, hello everyone. So glad and happy that you all were able to join us again for the show and stuff and things
got
and
a
things.
really big shoe. A really big shoe.
Right, it's a really really big shoe.
So,
but
how are you, my dear?
I got a lot to complain about. That's one thing, but I also
And another thing.
right. But I also got a lot to be grateful for, so I'm trying to keep it at a stalemate. But I'm gonna tell you one good thing about this. But listen, these people at the Black Degree Factory, oh my god, I just, everything is a fight, and this is where we are. And I'm at the point now where I'm kind of like, is it 5 o'clock yet? Because I'm ready to go home.
Right.
I'm not 1 minute afterwards. It is fine. Listen, I'm using my staff member as the clock for me because, like I said, at clockwork at 4:29, my staff she is walking out the door. I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and pack my bag up so that come 5 o'clock I can be rolling out the door. So that's what I started doing now. I'm just like, oh, let me just pack my bag. When I see her roll out, I pack my bag and I get ready to roll, and that's what I do. Um, but other than that, it's all good. I mean, I'm getting ready to get aggravated because these kids have been here all year, all year. And I want everybody to think about this because I'm gonna tell you, your mamas, your daddies, your cousins, your sisters, your aunt, anybody that's in school at this particular point, baby, this semester, this academic year is about to end.
Right.
And baby, if you have not taken care of any of your bills and any of those sorts of things, baby, you have had almost 9 months. So please don't get mad and make your this emergency, make it somebody else's emergency, because it's not. You didn't want to take care of it 9 months ago or any of the time, in between then and now. And now you want to rush and get it done? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So please tell your moms, your daddies, your sisters, your cousins, your uncles, and everybody get their shit in order because the semester is ending and they need to have it taken care of before the end of the month. That is my PSA for the month. That's where we are. So, but I see it already. They starting to come in with the stupid ass questions of like, is there any money left?
Bitch, the semester's almost over, even if there was any money left.
But yet we have to smile and be
So
like,
how's it? So what did they do? Haven't they already been kicked out of class at this point? So what do they mean? Is there any money left? Because aren't finals like in the next couple of weeks?
I'm sorry. Are we talking about at the Black Degree Factory? Or are we talking about at any other school?
I mean, even at the Black Degree Factory, if graduation is on Mother's Day, so that's a month or 5 weeks from now. So that means if you are now asking you for money, that means you have likely already been kicked out of class. So let's
let me pause you right here to answer that
okay.
question. No, they have not been kicked out of class. That's
How that
A.
work?
And B, some of them had the nerve to say, well, I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna go to class. I'm gonna try to get registered late.
I mean, yes, late registration is usually like 1 or 2 weeks after registration, honey. The semester is over with.
So continue on with your statement. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there, but continue on.
Okay, but I would have thought that. All right, so the semester started in January, and
The spring semester started in January. Yes.
Yeah, and you are now asking for money, which means that you didn't have enough money for the semester, which means you should have already been kicked out of class. So even if, let's say, we magically found the $22,000 that you need, you aren't registered for a class. So how does all of that work? And thus ends my questions. Yes, and now it's up to you. It's on you.
How does all that work? Well, they somehow think that there's a magical fairy that comes and sprinkles magical fairy dust on their cinnamon toast crunch for that person that works in that particular office. That they're going to come in and just decide they're going to go ahead and register these back students from, I don't know, 13 weeks ago that they've been going to class, and but they want to just go.
But have they the assignments, and has the teacher been grading their work?
Some of them may have, because they may have gone over and had a conversation or a discussion or an agreement with that particular instructor. And some of them may have just done their own thing, just been like, listen, I'm gonna figure it out because I know the dean of such and such, or I know the AVP of blah blah blah, and I'm good. Yeah, I'm sorry. You had some other questions? I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to figure out where they do that at. But apparently, we know where they do that at. Because at the Deep South Black Degree Factory, let's say the semester started on January the 3rd. Registration, because this was in the before times. Before everything was fully computerized. So if the semester started the 3rd, there was a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks of registration. Theoretically, you was already supposed to be registered, but there was 1 week of registration for those who needed to register late. Then there was an add and drop period. And sometime, there was, and then even then there was like a leeway of like a couple of weeks. Then after that, girl, you just wasn't registered for class. That's just the end of it. And if you just weren't registered for class and you wanted to graduate, come into financial aid a month before is crazy, because even if you have been going to your classes and your teacher has been nice enough, well, see, I don't even know how they do that now since everything is electronic, because back in the day, in the before times, in the late 1900s, assignments were, we still had, some papers were actually physical papers. So, you would get a grade on the paper, and the amount of effort that it took for the teacher to put the grade on your paper or whatnot. But since all that shit is electronic now, but if you aren't in the system, how are they getting you grades? So even if they magically found you the $22,000, how is everything supposed to happen? How are they supposed to get you all the grades that you needed for this semester? And they do. Oh, I remember they told you they don't do the reconciliation until after you actually walk across the stage. So you might walk across the stage and then find out that you didn't actually graduate. So I guess maybe it could happen, but So that concludes my questions for the moment.
Because I think the answer to your question is anything that you can think of. There's a way that they have been dodging it, or they've dodged it and thinking that they're going to get around it. And then we are always looked at as the office of no, because we're going to tell this federal agency that you trying to get these federal funds that you want to spend, that we are going to take, and you want us to federally put you into something and jeopardize all, not just yours, but all students,
right,
who are getting federal money.
Right.
But here we are. And then we have to smile and actually try to figure out a way to make it happen.
Well, that's why you can do it, because you're a good man. You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Nope. I just decided that I can't do it. I have to meet with the people, and I have to tell them and be honest with them. Like, listen, baby, where have you been all semester? Their bill was due back in August, right? And this is April. So I'm going to tell you that there's probably...
Oh, this is the bill from 2 semesters ago? I thought this was at least a January bill.
You're making the assumption they took care of the fall bill.
And now they try to graduate too? So, bitch, they owe for, in theory... So, wait a minute. Are you saying that the bill that they got in August was for a previous semester?
The bill that they got in August was for the fall semester.
Okay, so then they shouldn't.
But
they definitely weren't registered for the January semester then.
Right, but keep in mind, because here's the thing: the bill for the fall is more than likely going to be the same as the bill for the spring. So whatever you did in the fall, if there's anything left over as a balance, you're probably going to have that same balance in the spring semester as well. So when you decide that you want to do whatever you want to do in the beginning of the fall semester, you finally get your fall semester to a point where you can actually go ahead and you're in classes and you got your aid processed, or at least you think it's coming. That's great. But then here comes the next shablam. The next shablam comes in probably around, like end of October, beginning of November, where the registration for the spring semester opens up and you can't register because you have a balance and your balance is over the threshold. Mm-hmm. Let's just say it's $5,000. If you have a $49.99 and under balance, then they'll allow you to register. So great. So remember, your bill that you have from the fall left you with $5,500, and you paid it down and you got down to $49.99 and you were able to register. Great. So you're going to have a $5,500 bill left over in the spring semester, right? Because that's how this works. That's how this aid works. So even just in round numbers, we're talking about $10,000 or $11,000. Well, actually $10,500 because you got it down. So let's just say $10,000 that you got to make up for at the end of the year. So this is why you're coming to me saying, hey, is there any more money? Is there any more funds? Can you all help me out? And if you are a freshman, I might give you a little bit of leeway. Might. But if you are not a freshman, baby, you know how this works. You know exactly how this works. You know when the bills are due. You know when the ad drop period comes. You know when, baby, you know everything about this. And so what are we doing? And you playing the game. So now you're ending. So now at this point, we have people that are trying to get registered for the fall. Mm-hmm. But they have a balance. Can't. So they're like, if you could just lift my hold, I can get registered. So potentially,
if you can just look,
you're talking about
because girl, here's the thing. These people act. I mean, listen, we live in a capitalist society, and nothing is free. And baby, you've already not paid the balance that you owe. So if we lift this hold, all you're doing is adding to that balance. Y'all, and then you're like, child, you never gonna get this money. Y'all never gonna get this money, because if you lift this $10,000 hole that I got and let me register, child, you're not gonna get that $10,000. You definitely not gonna get this money. Then they will come and be like right before graduation, so can I just graduate? And then no, girl, nope.
So listen, I don't know how any other place does it, but here's what I do know. At the Degree Factory where I got mine from, they were at the graduation ceremony with the program in hand, saying, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between and outside of. If your name is not printed in this pamphlet, you have not done everything that you need to do to graduate. And while you are here, you are not officially graduated. And guess who I saw in the midst of a stadium that is as big as the Verizon Center looking at that program? This one's mother.
Baby, I'm sorry. I could just imagine if you had not, and Mary Alice had been like, "Check! What the fuck do you mean? I came all the way up here to do Questy, and your ass ain't graduated."
And the way she probably would have had a whole group of people behind her, like, "Yeah, that's right, girl. Tell him, girl." Every other parent. But yes, that's how. But at this, and now the thing is, so we have to stop them to get they have to check in to see if they are financially cleared before they get their tickets. And I told you last year, this when I told this young lady, I said, "Yeah, you have a balance, and you have a balance of it looks like it's about $11,000 or whatever it was." She was like, "You fucking kidding me, right?"
I'm like, "Bitch, you better watch." I'd have been saying it exactly like that. "Bitch, watch your fucking language when you talking to me. The fuck?"
And I was like, so then she, and the other part is I'm sitting at the table, she's standing over top of me. She had her nails done, and they were claws. And I was kind of like, I was like, I was sitting there thinking to myself, this is the day that I'm going to lose my job. Because if this bitch decides that she wants to reach out and touch me, I'm gonna be sued, probably beat up by everybody's family that was probably here. But anyway, my whole point is we do that stuff ahead of time. Get your graduation tickets, do all this stuff, and so you even have some time before graduation to try to get your bill straightened out.
Because when do you get the tickets?
The tickets are going to be starting to be given out at the end of this month, like the 24th, I think it is. The 24th-ish.
So you still got 2 or 3 weeks to get it together.
You got like a little bit of time, but you can still try to figure out a Hail Mary. Now the semester isn't over, so you can still, if you're processing any other loan or stuff like that, you still got time. You got a little bit of time. You can do whatever you need to do. But baby, when we get to that last week, when the last day of the term, once we pass that, I wouldn't give it. If you're Jesus and God can do whatever they want to do because they have created. There's nothing we can do for you. There's nothing we can do for you. That's it. But yeah, we're getting to that time. That's where we are. We're getting to that time.
So I want to be clear that I knew when I got my tickets for graduation and got my cap and gown and everything that I still had a whole semester, 2 semesters worth of work that needed to be done before I could have even thought of doing it. But my parents wanted to see a graduation. I knew, baby, that's why our group is called Stunt Queens, because I know how to pull a stunt. And at FAMU back in the day, the act of walking across the stage and even having your name in the program was different than actually conferring a degree, because they didn't even do the degree audit until after. Now, I'm sure it's a lot different now, because again, remember, this was actually the mid-90s. This was 96 when I finally left FAM. But it's, for whatever reason, the degree audit was after graduation. So therefore, they gave anybody that wanted, not just anybody. I mean, you can look at the thing and be like, girl, you only been here for a year. But I had been there a long enough time and had a long enough record that I passed whatever preliminary test that allowed me to get a cap and gown. And I got the green book that says Florida A&M University embossed on the cover. But when you open it up, she's empty. And I knew she was going to be empty. But my parents got what it was that they wanted. Because, baby, I was just over it. I was over it. Over it.
First of all,
And it's the biggest mistake I ever made because I should have just stuck it out. But it is what it is at this point.
right.
But yeah, you can't do that shit now. I mean, so you
Scissor hands, quit your fucking line because you're old. You're old ass.
in 1996, sir,
Your old ass.
sir, you are of the same age as we are.
He is 5 years younger than we are.
Oh,
This is going to be this milestone for this person coming up. You are 5 years younger than me. 5. Right.
but yeah.
But in any event,
So when the kids try to pull the stunts, you just can't stunt, the way you used to back in the day. It's just not even an option to stunt in the same way.
and now that you say that, I have to think about that because yes, I was done, but I wound up I finished my degree. Well, how did this happen? I finished my degree, but I think whatever the application for graduation or whatever that I had to turn in, I think I turned it in late, but somehow, so even when we graduated in May, and you're on stage, they give you these things out of a bucket or whatever. It's the fake diploma or whatever, and then they mail you the other diploma. I couldn't get mine until July for whatever reason, because that's when I was starting my job as well, because I had to have a letter that said that I completed everything to start the job and had a degree, all this other stuff. And so I wound up not actually getting it until July. Now I had finished everything I needed to do, and I even had a class that was like I think I had like an I grade or something I had to make up, something along those lines. But again, I was done. I was done for all intents and purposes. So there was nothing else I needed to do, but I just didn't get it until actually July, my actual degree. But listen.
Well, and I think that was because it was also a manpower thing. Stuffing all of those diplomas. I don't know of any school that actually gives you that book and the degree is in the book.
Oh, yeah.
The book is always empty.
Yeah.
And then they get that, even if everything is done, even if they've done the degree check, they just haven't filled all of those books. Because, you got the different classes, and trying to get all that shit together. Can you just imagine? So then all of the books, you got, and our graduations were probably on the same size as the Black degree factories. So you got all those people, you got people getting their bachelor's degree, their master's, their doctorates, and all of these different schools. So all of those books would need to be in the exact right order so that you get the right ones. It's just easier just to mail it to you afterwards anyway. So
listen.
So when I did finally get my degree, I had a good gay girlfriend who worked in the admissions office. And I was like, listen, so am I done? He was like, yeah, I think you're all done. I was like, no, girl, I need to see somewhere on this page where it says complete. And it said, you go through semester,
right?
All requirements complete. And then even after that, I still have it. I still had a whole after I graduated, I was like, I need the official transcript that says degree conferred.
Yep. And so that's another thing. And so, you used to be able to, before last July, was it last July or the July before last? It was July of 25 or July of 24. But sometime it was one of the Julys, I think it was 24 or 25. You if you owe the university any money, you could not get your actual degree.
Yeah.
Well, there's a ruling now on a federal level that you can get your transcripts even if you do owe the university now.
Yeah, you can get an unofficial transcript. Yeah.
You could, when you owed one, you couldn't get nothing.
Oh, well, at least
now you can get an unofficial transcript, but it still won't say whether the degree is
right. It don't say that. Right. The unofficial transcript will not say that the degree is conferred.
So we got a lot of those people that the day that ruling happened, they were like, I'm coming to get my transcript. And it was like, okay. It says you
But
took.
why would they come? Can't you just get that shit online?
Listen, I'm telling you, you can, but I'm just telling you, people were showing up like, okay, I'm here to come in. Okay, well, all right, girl, that's great. That's great.
I'd have been like, ma'am, you get that shit online. I'm not printing out all of these I'm not printing this out.
Listen, that's not my office, not what I do, but hey, that's on them. But I just, it was ridiculous to me.
Right.
But hey, this is where we are.
Well, here we are. So how has your past week been?
Past week has been good. It's been a lot of activity, which is not a bad thing. So all good. Able to, well, you and I hung out for just a quick blip. And I was hanging out with a friend who I think I told y'all about him, who's not far from U Dominion, but nursing back to health type of situation. So hanging out with him and all that good stuff. But really haven't really been doing too much other than that. Like I've just been just staying close to home. But my evenings and my weekends became real busy, where it's like I'm running around doing errands and all that stuff. But I mean, stuff that most people do on the weekends anyway. But I kind of, you just really look forward to like doing nothing. Like I don't have to be anywhere. I don't have to do nothing. I don't want to answer no call. I don't want to be in a meeting. I don't want to I don't do nothing. I don't do nothing. Didn't quite work out that way, but I had a few things to do. But other than that, it was good though. So yeah, I don't really have too much to say about that. It was a good week. It was good. Nothing major. So it was good. It was good. And yours?
It was cool. What did I do on Friday? I feel like I didn't do much of anything on Friday. Saturday, I was supposed to go to. I was supposed to get up and cut the grass, and then go to brunch. But then a young man hit me up and wanted to get fisted. So I was like, so how am I going to do this? Am I going to? Right. And so I was like, I could cut the grass and then go to brunch. But then I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I went and played in him some, for some time. And then as I was getting ready, I was like, all right, so I got to get ready to leave. And then he was like, oh, no, let me feed you first. He's from Morocco. He was, let me feed you first. And I was like, girl, I'm about to go to brunch, but okay. Baby, he pulled out a whole spread full of cookies and fruit and homemade juices and mint tea and all kinds of shit. And I was like, okay.
Sounds like he wanted you to come back or stay.
Oh, he'll be coming over this weekend. So there is that. And then I went to brunch at Annie's for a friend, and that was nice. Then I got home and I cut the grass because, the weather is fickle in the spring and early summer. And you'll be like, bitch, this grass is already tall as shit. But and then if you don't cut it while you can, and you be like, I'll cut it tomorrow, it'll pour down rain for the next week. And then by the time you finally do get around to cutting it, if it was already tall as shit before, with this extra week of rain, now the shit you can't even see over the grass. So I cut the whole right. So I cut the whole front and backyard, and then got dressed because I was determined that I was going to go out. Atlas and Josh came over and stayed the night so they could go out and have big fun because there's no fun to be had on the Eastern Shore. So they come and stay at my house so they could go out and party with the wretched.
Oh, so that's how we're doing it. We're coming up and partying with the wretched. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I started at the overhang party at Kiki Lounge, and that was cute. It was. I had a good time. And I ran into my ex, the slave, and the ex-slave, and his boyfriend, and we hang out. I mean, we get along just fine. It's not one of those like, hi. Okay, we get along just fine. Not much to my surprise, but as a rule, when we break up, I don't really see you again or have any sort of conversation or whatever. But no, I like his new partner and they're very happy together and I'm very happy for them. And so we hung out and we chit chatted and then left there and went to not trade, uproar.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, and so they had the little dark room on the second floor.
Uproar has a
And
dark room?
child, they turned off the lights on the second floor and put up a curtain in the doorway.
Okay. All right. Well, all right.
Oh, and someone whose name is Bashua was in the dark room having big fun.
Oh, really?
He told me I didn't see him in the dark room, but I didn't go because I was baby by that time. I got to go back to Kiki Lounge. So they were selling $15 buckets of liquor, an
Huh?
actual bucket. Like it was more than it was a little bit more than a quart sized bucket, a plastic bucket full of liquor. So you could get like a mixed drink. So I got like, my standard vodka and cranberry, but
Okay.
it was like a whole bucket full. So after the fisting, after the brunch, after cutting the whole front and backyard,
Baby, you was
baby, this
thirsty.
bucket of liquor was taking me out. So
Mm.
by the time I got to Kiki Lounge or to Uproar, because a bunch of people were going to,
Greg! I'm sorry, I just
yes,
saw Greg in there. Hi, Greg.
hey
Sorry.
Greg, a bunch of people were leaving Kiki Lounge and going to Uproar, so I went, but I got in there and then I got to the second level and then to the third level, and then I stood around for a few minutes and I was like, girl, I am going home. So when I went into the dark room to establish that yes, there was a dark room, but I didn't go into the darkest corners of the dark room, which is apparently where we would have seen Bashua.
So Basha was out there having big fun, huh? Okay.
He
All
was
right.
having big fun. And so, baby, I got home and I was wore out. I
Oh.
was wore. And then on Sunday, I didn't do a whole lot, but we did go to see They Will Kill You. I know you got the movie review, so we're going to talk about it then, or we can talk about it now.
Well, we can talk about because I am I loved it. I fucking loved it. Um the if you are a fan of Quentin Tarantino and
This
you
was
have
not a Quentin Tarantino production, but it was that sort of
it is
style.
not right.
Yes.
No. And you have seen Bullet Train and any of these movies where there's intense fighting, you will have enjoyed this movie. And for me, I fucking enjoyed it. I thought it was amazing. Zazie Beetz plays a young lady who is and the story, yeah, I'm not gonna tell you the whole story, but it's kind of cut up, it's kind of chip choppy and it's doing like flashbacks here and there. But she plays a woman that's in search of her younger sister. They also showed their past and why they were estranged or why she couldn't find her, and it involved like parents and police, and then there was
A lot.
some jail stuff, and it was a whole bunch of things. But through it all, she figured out a way to try to find her sister, and it was taking this position at this particular establishment, and that's when everything started happening. And baby, when I tell you, it felt like she was prepared for almost any goddamn thing,
Right.
which is why I enjoyed it. But then it made sense when you go back and look at it, or not go back and look at it, but as the movie goes on, it made sense with why we're here. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. It had, like I said, Zazie Beetz. It also had Patricia Arquette, and it also Heather Graham, who I haven't seen. And after Dominion, you were like, "That's Heather Graham." I was like, "Oh my god!" So
Yeah.
it's interesting to see these people that are in this movie that I remember from like yesteryear or like other programs or just in a different genre of movies, and they were having fun with it, and so it made it fun for me, and I fucking enjoyed it. I mean, The fighting, it was like choreography that was just amazing, and I was just loving it, loving all of it. So there was some other elements to it. And you know, I don't want to ruin it for anybody that wants to go see it, but I highly recommend it. And if you are nothing but a Quentin Tarantino-esque fighting fan, so even when you think of Kill Bill, you think of even From Dusk Till Dawn, like when they're fighting, like all these different, and Bullet Train, you will absolutely enjoy it. You will absolutely love it because it was amazing. I thought it was amazing. I enjoyed it. Now I'm not going to picture that it was the best movie ever, but I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't know if I will. It was the fighting scenes were good. The plot was a little like that doesn't make any sense, but okay. They didn't give you a lot of time between, you know, stupid plot elements to figure stuff out. So I was just like, yeah, this doesn't make any sense. But the fighting scenes were really good. So that was what really sort of mattered, at least to me. So I enjoyed it. It'll get 2 snaps up, but not in a circle.
I'm gonna give it 2 snaps up in a circle. I could do that. Even Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, it's definitely not getting the Zorro snap.
Well, no, it's not getting that. But it could be an alternate for Zorro snap way down the line. Maybe a third alternate for the Zorro snap. But anyway,
there were a couple of there was this one trailer for this action movie that looked extremely violent, but lots of fun. That I think we're definitely going to go see. So,
which I can't remember the name of that one.
I can't remember the name of it either. But I will. Yeah, I would definitely give a recommendation to They Will Kill You. You will definitely enjoy it. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's not. I mean, it's not War and Peace. It's not supposed to make a ton of sense. It's supposed to be fun escapism for, you know, a minute or 3. So
yeah, it was good. And like even Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 60. They gave it like 63%, which gave it the red tomato, which is a positive, you know, with everybody's positive reviews. And then also 77% on the popcorn meter, which is, you know, positive. So the more people that, you know, so it's gotten good you know, reviews. The one I would definitely say, and I don't know, Dominion, how you would chime in on this, but I would definitely say this is a Saturday afternoon or more like a rainy Sunday afternoon. You have nothing to do and you want something that's going to fill up your time and you're going to be happy that you sat down and you enjoyed it because you couldn't do anything else. And even if you chose to not do anything else, you still would be okay with it. But it's probably in your best interest that you couldn't do anything else while you're watching it. It was a perfect movie for that. Like it kind of fits in that particular area. But so, you know, I enjoyed it.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I it was good. And then other than that, not a whole lot. I will tell you that I was out of peanut butter the other day. And so I went to
Did you call 911?
I did.
Okay.
I called the peanut butter police.
I just want to make sure because you can't be out of peanut butter. I
know you cannot. And especially for me, because you know, I love peanut butter. I was never
crunchy or creamy.
Smooth. I don't do crunchy. And I don't have texture problems. I just don't want to be chomping down on, and then it rips up the bread and shit. So no.
You gotta know how to spread it on.
No,
but okay. But
it's smooth peanut butter and Jif only. And I will occasionally accept Wegmans brand as a substitute. Because
you say Jif only? Wait, you said Jif only?
Jif is the only acceptable peanut butter brand, and the Wegmans peanut butter is a barely acceptable substitute because I had I feel like for some reason I had seen a thing about generic or store brand alternatives, and I was like, well, let me just try this because it was on sale for whatever reason. The Jif was like, I don't know, for the big thing was like $5, and Wegmans was like $2.50. So I said, let me try it. I was like, okay. In a side-by-side taste test, I'm never going to be fooled that this Wegmans brand is Jif, but when you put it on some raisin bread with some orange marmalade, it was okay.
Listen, okay. Listen. We got Jif, we got Skippy, we got Peter Pan, we got. Listen, what I do is because see, for me, it's
Oh
not
no,
about the peanut
ma'am.
butter. It's not about. Plus, I also like crunchy, so I kind of like like a little texture in mine. For me, it's about the jam. Don't give me jelly,
So
baby. I
you
want
are a peanut butter whore? You'll just eat any old kind of peanut butter?
it. Indeed,
You slut.
indeed, and am.
I am a peanut butter purist.
Well, I am not. Now on that jam situation, listen. If it's not Welch's, baby, and it's not jam, baby, don't tell me nothing about no jelly because I get irritated. Like, where's the jam? You know what I mean? I am swarming. And I have to
I
eat
am a
jelly.
peanut butter and orange marmalade kind of person. I
Okay.
will right now. For whatever reason, I was like, I keep buying stuff that I already have. So I had some. I ran out of orange marmalade, but I had a big old thing of strawberry jam, which I love. So I was fine with the strawberry jam. But what I'm not, don't be giving me no. And listen, I will eat it. It's not like I literally have anything against it, but I generally don't buy like grape jelly or apple jelly. I'm always a strawberry jam or orange marmalade or sometimes like a peach preserve kind of person.
I could do a mixed. I could do a mixed jelly or strawberry. I do like that, but I definitely. If it's grape jam, I'm in. As long as it's jam, I'm in. I just. But okay. But okay. All right. I see.
So I was in Wegmans and they had my GIF, and then I bought my new obsession, cookie butter.
Are you just now getting over the cookie butter?
Listen, sir,
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 we have to have this conversation about your Bristol-headed traveling fat bitch. Because bitch, if you're just
sir,
out getting on some motherfucking cookie butter, baby, I'm gonna have to have a
sir,
conversation with nationals. And bitch, you are on the national
sir,
board.
sir. I was a fat child, and there was no reason for me to have cookie butter in the house because peanut butter at least has peanuts and protein in it. If you look at the ingredients for cookie butter, baby, it don't have no protein, it don't have no calcium, no nothing. There is no redeeming qualities. I mean, other than for cookie butter, other than that, it's delicious. And yes, I have had cookie butter before, but it was fine. Sure, it was fine. But from now on, I will be keeping cookie butter in the house. And so, but right before the show, you'll see what's left on the plate. See, that's a little cookie butter right there, dried on the plate.
So
But
you get your cookie butter from Trader Joe's or Wegmans?
from Wegmans.
Try the Trader Joe's cookie butter as well.
So what I will do, so what I have been doing is a nice thin layer of the cookie butter and then the peanut butter on top of it. So I
don't know
got
how I feel about that. I feel like that's a violation, maybe, possibly. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
And I don't eat and now I don't. Well, you know, God rest her soul. Kendra was allergic to peanuts. Now I want to be clear, bitch. I kept some peanut butter in the house, and that was the one thing I ain't never had to worry about that whole eating. And it wasn't like we ever fought over food, but I always knew that if there was peanut butter in the house, wasn't nobody else going to eat the peanut butter. But one thing I did do, because she did eat the jelly, so I tried to not dip the same spoon.
That is so trifling.
Well, I did because I didn't want her to get sick. But now that ain't nobody living here but me, and I want to be clear. If you come to my house, it's not like you're gonna go in the jelly and it's like
you gonna see the toast crumbs and
yeah, no, it's not like that.
Butter balls,
right? But yeah, so raisin bread. It's a thin layer of the cookie butter because apparently now what I do like is they make smooth cookie butter and apparently crunchy cookie butter. So I like the crunchy cookie butter because I did like that texture. That texture was good. So it's the raisin bread, a nice a thin layer of the cookie butter because that gives you like a crunch factor. And then the peanut butter. And then on the other side is the strawberry jam. And you put that shit together. And then there you go. And you bite into it and you get a little crunch from the little bits of cookies in it. Now, bitch, that, yeah.
You get that same crunch with the crunchy peanut butter too. But I'm just saying, it's all right. It's okay. It's all right. I'm just making a suggestion, just an alternative. That's all.
Suggestion noted.
That's all.
So, but yes, the cookie butter from Wegmans is my new obsessions. And like I said, I had cookie butter.
Amount of peanut butter. What the hell is that, Atlas?
You're not going to see a Diddy.
What the fuck is the Diddy amount? Okay, all right, sure.
But you know what I find disgusting? That shit that's the peanut butter and the jelly in the same container.
So, oh my gosh. So
that is nasty as shit.
So while I have never purchased that, but as a kid growing up, my grandmother, my father's mother, she used to keep that in the house. And baby, it is just a memory because I think just the idea of it is like, oh, this is disgusting. But I don't think I ever ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at her house. But I just remember that being there. She'd like that. Like, she'd love that. And I was just like,
Well, you lost me because the peanut butter was not Jif peanut butter. Yeah. I want to be clear. I did not suddenly develop my peanut butter snobbery. I have always been a Jif peanut butter snob, even as a child. And so the idea that this container of generic ass peanut butter mixed with jelly was not going to fly for me.
Okay. So, and I think I'm trying to think, we didn't really have, peanut butter wasn't one of those things where you had to have a certain brand, but we have definitely bought Jif, we've definitely bought Skippy, and we've definitely had Peter Pan at some particular point, like somewhere in the three of those things, we had those. But it really boiled down to, at least for me now as an adult, it's like, what's on sale? Plus, I don't even buy peanut butter that often because it'll probably, like, I like peanut butter, but I'm not one of those people that will go get a spoonful of peanut butter and just sit and suck on it or whatever. I won't do that. But I know some people that do that with other things, but I certainly won't do that with peanut butter.
Maybe not every day, but
I mean, every day,
at least 4 of them days, I will have some peanut butter and now some cookie butter.
Now, what I will do now when I get into my baking zone and I start making sure I have peanut butter as well as chocolate chips and everything else. Now, baby, now that's a treat. Taking that peanut butter and putting the chocolate chips on top of it and a spoon, maybe now that's a fat boy treat. Now,
I've not done that.
Oh my God. Go get you the either the semi-sweet or the dark chocolates and you put that on with the peanut butter on that spoon too. Baby, listen, that which yes, go.
Well, all right, let's get into a few videos.
Okie dokie.
This is the end.
Bitch, I don't even know what the I did that. And something tapped me back. I'd
be so mad. I would be so mad.
When you own a house, no one really talks to you about how houses settle. And baby, so I will be like, I don't sleep like this, but I'll be asleep. Because you not slept with me. You slept in the bed with me. And I sleep like we dead.
And I don't. Bitch, I don't.
And so I'm just here and I'll hear something and I'll be like, and there's a part of me that wants to get, because I don't sleep with no clothes on. It's the part of me that want to get up, throw some clothes on and run all the way out to fuck this house. And then I'll be like, it's just a house settling. It is just a house settling. It is just the house settling. And then occasionally it'll settle a little bit more. And then I'll be like, it's just settling. Now, it's never done the 3-time thing, but there's been a couple of times where it'll be like, quick clacker. It's just settling. It's just setting. Click clacker. I'm like, and once or twice I have got them to be like, hello. Because I figured, listen, I need to see my doom coming.
And I get, it's something about the idea of someone being in my space and you weren't invited. Like, I get really angry about that. So I think I wake up and I'm more pissed off. Like, bitch, you have come into my space and you weren't invited.
Mm-hmm. I'm angry. So if I jump up and I'm looking around, baby, I am grabbing whatever the fuck is next to me and I'm swinging. It's something about that just bothers me. And because it's like, bitch, you came into my space. That's what we doing. Right.
That's how we doing that. And
I will ask. So here's the question for you. And it may be different because you have a cat, but do you sleep with the door closed?
So I do. So I do sleep with my door closed because I don't want her in my room. That's why.
Right. And that's why I'm saying it just might be different.
Right. So that's why. But even when I didn't have her, I still slept with my door closed. And I think it got to a point where it was like it kept heat in the room and that sort of thing. And I've gotten used to just sleeping with the door closed. Now, here's the funny thing. I can't turn my back to the door. I always have to be facing the door.
Oh.
That is some weird. So I'll flip flop all the way around and all sorts of stuff. But baby, listen, my eyes will be on that door.
I sleep with the door open because that just feels weird to me in that whole house to just sleep with the door closed. Because first of all, because here's the thing, you've also been in. I don't think. Have you ever spent the night at my house? I can't recall.
No, I don't think I've never spent the night.
But Atlas has, and he knows I keep my house pitch black at night. So there's no way that even if you broke into my house, you would turn on well, you couldn't turn on because everything is controlled by she who shall not be named. But so you'd have to have a flashlight. So I would see the flashlight or something. So that's also why I don't keep the door closed. Because if somebody's for me, it doesn't make sense since I live there alone. Who am I protecting it against? But if somebody now, when Atlas or Mario or my sister live there, or sometimes when I have guests who are sleeping in the guest bedroom, I will keep the door closed because everybody ain't trying to see me naked as I get up and run to the bathroom. But if I'm there in the house all by myself, that door is wide open.
Yeah, I will definitely, and I think most of them, if I have house guests, they usually close the door anyway because I think it's just a certain amount of privacy because it's like, baby, just go to sleep because I'm not changing what I do. I'll just walk out in a robe as opposed to walking out in my birthday suit. So that's
now. And so when I first moved into the house, my house is set up. Got these big ass windows, not so much in the front, but in the back. And so whenever I would go downstairs, I would put on clothes. But now I'm like, bitch, this is my whole house. If you don't like it, you see what the fuck you see. I will turn on them lights in the kitchen and you will see my naked ass wandering through the kitchen. Now, I'm not a person who I walk around in very little clothes. So I'm not just going to plop my naked ass down on the sofa as a rule. I will generally have on at least some basketball shorts. But like if I need to come down in the middle of the night because my blood sugar is low and I need a spoonful of peanut butter, I'm not going to put on clothes to do that.
I had to explain to a certain young lady that everything that I need is in my house where I need it. So we had this conversation about, Television Central and how if I decide that I'm going to go ahead and, go down the OnlyFans route, baby, I got everything that I need that's close by me. And she was like, well, I never noticed. And I was like, you probably wouldn't if you didn't know what you were looking for, but it's right there. It's always within arm's reach. I can get to whatever lube I need. If I need a little popper, I need a little, whatever I need a little nipple clamp. It's close to me. And this is what the fuck I do. And she's like, that's kind of, but isn't it just kind of odd? I was like, it's my fucking house. What the fuck do you mean it's odd? It's my space.
Diana Ross says,
It's
SB Casa, Iyo, Bibo, Aki.
right. Like, what are you talking about? Like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, what the fuck?
Right.
So, yeah, like, it's in my space. And even in my bedroom, it's in arm's reach. What are you talking about? Like, this is what we doing. It's my space. What the hell?
If you know what your body count is, you're not even a real slut. All right, babe, you're a wannabe. Real sluts that do it for the love of the game, they're out there loving the game, baby. They're not keeping
I mean, I have no idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I couldn't even, but you know, all of the times I'd have been to slammers and various dark rooms and back rooms and back porches and parties and functions, I couldn't even begin to establish a body count, even if I wanted to. And I don't even think such a thing is of any importance.
Just shout a number. Sure, I'll nod. Sure.
Right.
There we go. That's all I got.
I know it's less than yours.
Do you though?
No, I do not. Not at all. I'm fucking with you. But no, it's not. But you know, has somebody ever shouted out a number and you'd be like, God damn, that number seems like a lot. And then you think about your own number, you'd be like, oh, bitch, my number is higher than that.
Right. So
I
like
am a whore.
when I first saw this, I was sitting there thinking to myself, like 1, 5, 7. Are we in the hundreds? Are we in the thousands? Like I was trying to figure out like what. Like I know I'm not in the hundreds of thousands. Let me be clear about that. But
no, come on, Wilt Chamberlain.
But like definitely, it's somewhere in a respectable.
Now I remember I remember seeing something, and this guy had said some number that was crazy, and let's say it was like 1,500 or something, not in a lifetime, but in a year. And I was like, when I was sick, I was like, bitch, it's only 365 days in a year. So even if you fuck every day, that's like 4.2 people per day. And I mean, all of us have been, you know, not all of us, but most of us have been to IML or some event where you might have multiples in a day. But I just like, bitch, I just don't have that much time. And I don't, like, in the same way that I'm not a gym head. I just don't have that much stamina. I'm gonna tell you, baby, because after we fuck and I nut, now I will be clear. I mean, I could stick my dick in a number of holes. Yeah. So if we're counting that, still though, that's a lot every day.
So while this doesn't happen every day, but baby, when we go out on the town, baby, you.
Yes, I've had as many as 15 to 17 encounters in one night, but that was a very rare and very festive occasion.
But you've been into like the 5 to 7 type of count, like on a
right. But I'm saying I couldn't
when that happened.
Right, I was saying I couldn't sustain that enough to have a body count in a year of 1,500.
I kind of agree with you. But I will also say that 1,500 number, I was like, God, that seems like a lot of people. Then I was like, no, it's not. But then when you said in a year, I thought, oh shit, that is. But then I was like, So I don't know. But I mean, like you said, the number really doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned.
That is literally 4.1 persons per day, every day for 365 days. So that means if you ever take a break, in order to get that number, you've had more than 4 in a day. And again, I'm not judging per se. I'm just like, bitch, that I just don't have that kind of stamina.
I don't know if I can, you know, some people are like, oh, I jerk off every day. I do that and I have sex every day and all this. I mean, that's great for you, but like, can I go like, you know, weeks or maybe a month or 2 without? Yeah. Like I'm okay with that. But when I'm on, I'm on.
Yeah. I have learned to not think about it. Some days
Oh yeah.
I will jerk off every day for months on end, and then um maybe not for a few days. But I used to be like, I'm saving up for special occasions, but sometimes the special occasions fall through and you'd be like, bitch, I have saved this up for nothing.
I saves nothing. I save nothing. If the spirit moves me, then it moves me. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move.
Well, here's a spirit that might move you.
Gotta move.
Bugün iş vaxtımızın tügadı. Eline zerger.
I like his abs. And his chesticles look weird to me for some strange reason, but I like his abs though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to be clear. We would have to get in the shower with an African net sponge to make sure we got in all of the nooks and crevices. Speaking of which, I'm sure you've seen it on the Facebook and the Instagram, the African net sponges, baby, when I tell you those, this is an unpaid promo. When I tell you those African net sponges actually work.
Okay.
Because baby, it has scrubbed my skin. And also, I will tell you why I know it worked. My feet feel like I've had a pedicure by scrubbing them every night with just like a normal thing. Because before I used to use a loofah, but with this African net sponge, it's like taking a light pumice stone to your feet every day. And then by doing it every day, my feet actually feel smooth. Now, it's not quite pedicure smooth, but since I ain't had a pedicure since September. Yes, girl. I'm not one of them girls. Once sandal weather is done.
I had a pedicure last week. What are we talking about?
Or maybe it's been since December because I feel like I got a pedicure when we were in Florida.
It's April.
Press one for English.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, all right. I mean, okay.
Yes.
Okay. I am his girlfriend.
Let me ask you something, Paige. Did Bill lie to you?
No, absolutely not.
That's good.
Okay. You are the side piece. A man lies to his main.
You're making no sense.
The side chick, she knows everything because a man doesn't give a what the side piece thinks.
Why would you lie to the most important person?
Yeah.
Because you do not wish to upset her because they are the most important.
No. You know what? We need a third rule. Mind your business.
Wait a minute. Wait. We gotta play it again because I missed something because I think I missed something. I'm sorry.
So in this play, Delroy Lindo is the father. Kerry Washington is the daughter, and the light-skinned boy is her son.
Okay.
So that's the grandfather. I believe. I've not seen this movie, but all right. So here we go.
I am his girlfriend.
Let me ask you something, Paige. Did Bill lie to you?
No, absolutely not.
That's good.
Okay. You are the side piece. A man lies to his main.
You're making no sense.
The side chick, she knows everything because a man doesn't give a what the side piece thinks.
Why would you lie to the most important person?
Yeah.
Because you do not wish to upset her because they are the most important.
No. You know what? We need a third rule. Mind your business.
And as soon as I saw that, I was like, you know what? That makes perfect sense.
So I get the part where he says the side bitch, he doesn't give a fuck about what she thinks. So he just tells her everything. But I think where I got lost was when the son said, why would you lie to the most important person in your life? And then he said, because he doesn't, you don't want to upset the most important person in your life, talking about the main bitch.
The wife or the girlfriend, right? So Carrie Washington says, I'm the girlfriend. He was like, does he tell you everything and he doesn't lie to you? She said, yes, of course. That's why you're the side piece, because he doesn't really give a shit what you think. If you were the main one, then he would. I'm saying this is man logic.
Right. No. I was trying to follow it because I was like, I got confused.
I would be interested to hear what Lola thinks about that, and Tyra, if they're online, if they would agree with that. But it does make some sense to me that you would lie to the main one, because that's the one that you got to deal with this person every day. You're living with them. Y'all probably got kids together. Y'all got a lot going on together. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying I understand why you would be more likely to lie to someone, because you have that investment with them and you don't want to upset the apple cart. But for the side piece, it's like, girl, I don't really give a fuck what you think, because if I stop seeing you tomorrow, I'm gonna be all right.
But so I think my logic is the logic for me is flawed in the sense that he says, does he tell you everything? Does he lie to you? If the side piece don't need to know everything that's going on anyway. That's just how I feel about the side piece.
That is also my thing. I was like, the side bitch don't need to know anything. Not that I have a side piece, but the side piece doesn't need to know anything more than be at this hotel at 8 o'clock.
That's it. That's all they need to know. They don't need to know nothing about where I'm coming from, what's going on in the family. They usually know that they are a side piece. But again, that's how some people may deal with it. But
I need to, it's interesting to hear a woman's perspective.
That is true, Nova. That is very true.
I just like, girl, I live a life where I ain't got to lie about who I was with last night. I'm in the process of talking to probably at various stages 2 or 3 people, but all of them know that I've not been like, y'all, it's not like I hold 2 names in my hand and one of you will be Dominion's next top sub. But whoever I end up dating, if they're not going to be okay with at least knowing that at least when I travel, I might do a little something fun. Because the thing with when me and the slave were together, he was also my boyfriend. And not so much it was definitely out of respect for that relationship, but also because, like I said, when we were going to talk about fucking 4 dudes a day, 365 days a year, baby, I don't have so much energy. So when I'm at home, all of that sexual and emotional energy, mainly sexual and emotional energy went to him. And I was happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was out of town, I was just playing around. I can't imagine a scenario where I would have a main boyfriend person that I spent my time with, but then also somebody else that I would be splitting that time with that lived in the same geographic area. Because then now I got to split my time between 3 people, because I'm counting myself as a whole person I got to spend time with. That's why there was never anybody besides the slave friend when we were here in DC, because I had to make time for myself and the slave friend. I couldn't do that, make time for a boyfriend / slave or whatever, and myself and a third bitch. I just don't have that much energy to go around. That's why when I see all of these people, it was like, yeah, I got a pup and I got a slave and I got a boy and I'm somebody else's daddy and I'm somebody else's daddy, but somebody else's boy. And I was like, girl, I just don't see how you hoes do it because I do not have that kind of energy.
It's listen, and I've entertained one person at a time. I cannot.
I can entertain. Now, do I? I mean, I literally do. When I was with the slave, I had the slave that lived here. So essentially, we didn't never live together, but we lived in the same area. The boy that lived in Cleveland and the bitch that lived in New York. But it was only on very rare occasions when more than two of those people were in the same space. But if one of those people moved to DC, child, one of them people, somebody would have probably had to end up getting cut from the roster because I just don't have that kind of energy.
And guess what? I choose me first. So
I always choose me first.
Let's start with that. So that's where we are.
And everybody that I am talking to, including the main one, I keep telling him, not that he's not listening, but I'm like, baby, I require copious amounts of alone time. I enjoy, and he's the opposite. He's like, I don't really like doing stuff alone, and I'm like, I hear that, but baby, because I'm totally fine doing lots of things alone. I like going out and being social with people and then coming home and being by myself. That's how I can a lot of times deal with people's foolishness. Because I know I'm one of those people that can put up with anything, just about anything, for a little while, because I know it's not going to last. You know what I mean? So like I can be in the because it's serving some greater purpose. Like I will do shit for Onyx or whatever because it's serving some purpose. But I know, baby, like what time are we leaving? All right, bitch, I'm leaving at 11:30, and then I can be home, and I don't have to be bothered with this person. And there's nobody there who will be like, now can we play or let's talk? Or it's like, no, girl, I need quiet time.
I remember, so Des is on the call. So we are on Sunday nights. It was a ritual. We go to tracks, and so baby, it was just beats banging all damn night. But baby, before I got into that club, baby, listen, I don't want to hear not one crash, boom, sis, pa. I don't want to hear shit.
Right.
Put on some mother in the damn or the Muzak channel or something because I just need some quiet, something to just to mellow it out. And it's funny because we would have these moments and he was like, "Well, turn this on." Like, we're gonna hear a lot of that for the next 3 hours, and I'm here for all of it. But right now, I don't want to hear that. So I just get that.
Speaking of Lola got a job.
Congratulations, Lola.
Yes. I mean, and I'm not putting her business in the streets. It's all on her TikTok and everything. And Lola, that pink coat that you had on yesterday with the polka dot top underneath, that was a cute little ensemble. And she said she thrifted it too. But yeah, so she got a job and she is quite the fashionista. So congratulations to Lola on the job. So, we are very happy for you on that. Lola's part of the family. So we are very excited for that. And I saw that Atlas was all dressed up. I think he was going for a job interview today too. So,
was he going for a job interview or was he coming up here for big fun again?
No, I think I'm almost certain it was a job interview.
Okay.
But yeah, he want to play Anita Baker before we go to the club.
The fuck? We going here?
With all my heart, I love you, baby. But yeah, so congratulations, Lola, and good luck, Atlas, on the interview. Yay. So last video for the day.
Gay people are not just folks who were violated as children. Gay people come to the world that way because God sends queer people that way. Because queer people have a particular spiritual manifestation, a particular spiritual mission to fulfill. And it's funny that you mentioned this even in the church. And the question becomes, why in the world are queer people so visible in the church, especially in the music? Because it's going to be very difficult to get that kind of creativity out of heteronormativity.
Okay, now you know, Dr. Black, they in the comments right now.
I know they in there.
They not gonna wait till it's over.
That's fine. Stay right in there.
They're gonna be in them comments.
It's gonna be very difficult because heteronormativity seeks conformity. Queerness seeks creativity. It seeks change. It seeks liberation. Which means when you start creating, and music is an area of creation, when you start to do creation, you've got to first be free if you're going to create.
Yeah.
And queer folks have fought the battle, right, to be free. So in terms of the words, it makes me think of Walter Hawkins and Clara Ward, right? It makes me think of folks like Whitney Houston, right? It makes me think of folks like Aretha Franklin. You cannot get the tradition of Black music without getting queerness with it. It's coming with it. And if you don't want the queerness, your music is going to be raggedy. Your music is, I said it.
Spot the lie.
I mean, but here's the part that's getting me. I like how he just kind of like slid these names up in here.
Right, because I was like, wait a minute, are we saying that Aretha Franklin?
These names up in here?
I mean, we knew Whitney Houston, we know Walter Hawkins. But was he saying that Clara Ward and Aretha Franklin were queer?
I mean, so let me say
those two names are news to me.
Let me say this with Aretha Franklin. I would not be shocked and or surprised, because if I remember correctly, I think there was something. I know that there was. I
know her sister was a lesbian,
right? But I think that there was
the woman that's hitting the high notes in "Ain't No Way."
Okay,
that's her sister, and her sister was a lesbian, and that song was, I think, actually, I feel like at least partially inspired by one of her sister's relationships. But anyway, keep going.
Okay, but I feel like I remember hearing something about a Riri in some sort of triangle of some sort. I don't know, and it may have been when she was younger. I don't know, but the fact that you at least alluded to it with all these people, I'm just like, okay, well. And maybe he's referencing her sister and the creativity that she added or that she brought to her.
Yeah, because I feel like she was credited with as a songwriter on some of her biggest hits.
Okay, yeah,
so
maybe that's what he was doing. But
but
I feel like I may have heard something, but I don't know. Allegedly, because nobody don't need to sue me because I ain't got nothing for you to take. Allegedly,
I will say that what struck me about everything that he said was that heteronormativity seeks conformity. And think about all of the gays, and by gays I mean the gays, the lesbians,
anything on the spectrum,
all of the queers that once gay marriage, even before, child, they could not wait to rush to get their white picket fence, their labradoodle, and their 2.3 children. And listen, if that's what works for you, then fine. But I think that a lot of them are chasing that dream and trying to fit themselves into that mold. And I think that the beauty of the life that we as queer people, and I want to be clear that I hate the word queer, but I'm using it as an umbrella term because it's easier to say queer than LGBTQ. I think the life that we live as queer people is a life that we create. Oh, come on, heteronormative. That's every time we see Greg now, we be like, hey, heteronormative Greg. But I think that that's the beauty of the life that we as queer people lead. We can still have relationships and lifelong partnerships and have children and stuff, but our relationships do not have to look like heteronormative, that
Absolutely.
heteronormative mode and model. And I definitely agree that heteronormativity seeks conformity, but queerness or creativity and queerness go hand in hand, which is why you see so many creatives who are queer. And I'm not saying that one requires the other, because not every person, not every musical genius or every creative person is a homosexual.
Right.
But it certainly gives you that license, because that creativity, especially he wasn't talking about, he was talking about Black music, which requires a certain level of freedom and whatnot. And he's saying that queerness, once you've learned to accept yourself and all of those parts of you, then you can tap into that spiritual piece that is Black music.
Baby, I am here for whatever it is that I have been blessed with. And I remember a good friend of mine, I was talking to him, he's passed on now. I think I've said this to you several times. I was like, I'm so mad that a lot of people that I'm around, they have this talent, they can just sing and they sound wonderful. And I was like, I don't have, that's not my gift. I'm just mad that I can't sing like that. And
but you can dance your ass off. You have
that's what my
beautiful body
said.
and you have rhythm. And I've always been jealous of that, because bitch, I can two-step back and forth. But baby, if I try some of them dance moves you do, baby, I would have been and broke all of my ankles and all 3 of my hips.
But that's so, and this is why I enjoy the friends that I have around me, because we are it's not a competition, it's not anything. It's just to celebrate the shit about that person that you have in your life. You know what I mean? And so when he said that to me, that was the first time that someone had ever said that to me. And I never looked at it that way. I was just like, oh my God. And I was like, oh, but so I appreciate him for saying that. But again, I try to repay that with everybody that I value in my life, because I'm like, well, bitch, you and I, we've been to play. Case in point, I wanted you to take a look at this vest. And I was like, bitch, I'm looking at this vest, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, bitch, it looks better on you, so why don't you just go ahead and get it? You was just like, well, no. Bitch, get the goddamn vest, go on about your business. You know what I mean? So it's like, my whole point is, it's not about what you can do or what not. It's just like, if you're important to me, we're going to share those types of conversations.
We celebrate one another.
Absolutely. And so I was appreciative of that, because that was the first time that someone had ever said that to me. So that gift part is what I feel is definitely, I agree with the whole creativity part. So I agree with that, because I feel like there's some things that we all have a talent in something, and the creative part of us, the ones that identify as legitimate or queer or whatever, that skill helps you with a lot of things. And so, I definitely appreciate that, but I appreciate him saying that. So I don't know where I was going with that point, but I had to get that.
No, I appreciate that. So we got 7 minutes left, or 6 minutes left. 6 minutes left. So let's get into some stories.
All right, 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, and you're on. Okay, here we go. All right, listen. I know y'all been wondering, but guess what? American Horror Story season 13.
She's back.
It is back. They are filming. According to Polygon, mostly all the people, well, I should say mostly all, but we have many of the people that were in season 3 returning. So we have Emma Roberts, Evan Peters, Billy Lord, Gabourey Sidibe, Leslie Grossman. For a while, people couldn't figure out where Miss Frances Conroy was, aka Miss Myrtle Snow, but she is also coming back as well. And they also have some new people that are coming back. Ariana Grande is one of them. But the new season, it's not going to premiere until Halloween. But Ryan Murphy just the other day shared a post on Instagram of the legendary Jessica Lange, who had started her filming at that particular point. So she's back as well. So again, it's going to be released on Halloween. So we will definitely figure out what this is going to be. But a lot of people are coming back. I did not mention Angela Bassett because they didn't say Angela Bassett, but everything leads to all of the people coming back. And they did not mention her name specifically, but I'm more than certain that she's going to make a guest appearance at some particular point. But we shall see as time goes on. On the music front, Cardi B, she's on her tour, you know, Am I the Drama? She's like breaking records or whatever. Well, here's the problem. She was a victim of credit card fraud on one of her credit cards, and they spent $60,000 on designer clothes and Apple goods just a couple days ago. She alleged that the thief used her card to make a $40,000 purchase in the designer clothing store, Saks Fifth Avenue, and spent another $20,000 in an Apple store before the card was frozen. When she figured it out and she called her accountant, she was like, okay, we need to put a stop to the card. But here's the thing. When she figured that out and she put the stop to the card, she wound up getting the documentation that shows what was actually going on. So she even posted on her on like in her Instagram and a couple other social media places. She's like, I ain't like some of these rich people. She said $1 can't be spent out of mine. I don't play when it comes to my bread. She said my credit card, my Amex is connected to my phone. Every single time that something is purchased on my Amex, I get a notification like someone is texting me. And so she said, but guess what? I got clear pictures of you trying to get money out of the ATM. I got clear pictures of y'all in Saks, and I got clear pictures with y'all in Apple. Y'all are going to jail. Y'all are going to prison, and I'm going to make y'all pay me back. Cardi B is not playing about this money.
Yeah, but if that's on her Amex card, I mean, I hear what she's saying, and yes, but this is why I have moved to putting as many purchases on either my one of my Amex cards or my other credit card, because that $40,000 that they spent in Saks is between Saks and Amex. That don't involve her. She don't have to pay that back because she's reported the card stolen. So all of that shit. But if they had her debit card, then while she might get that money back, she would at least be out that money in the short term. So if you have a credit card, I would very much recommend to you that as much as you can, put your purchases, any purchases. I don't care if it's your Uber ride, your $2 coffee or whatever, put all of your purchases on your credit card and then do that. Because if your card gets stolen, then the reimbursement is between the company that from which that item was purchased and your credit card company, not you. As long as you are monitoring it.
All right, we only got 6
I'm
minutes.
sorry.
Claiming my time.
I'm sorry.
Claiming my time.
Sorry, we've actually got 2 minutes now, so keep it.
We got 2 minutes now. So listen, Cardi B's ex-husband Offset was shot. This happened April 6th, and it was in Hollywood, Florida, at the Hard Rock Hotel. A rep for Offset confirmed. He said, we can confirm Offset was shot and is currently at the hospital receiving medical care. He is stable and he was being closely monitored. Then the Seminole County, Florida police told Page Six that no life-threatening injuries were sustained in the shooting. They said they were aware of an incident that occurred at a valet area after 7 p.m. Monday night outside of the Seminole Hard Rock Cafe that resulted in non-life-threatening injuries to an individual who was transported to the hospital. Seminole police were on site immediately and the situation was contained quickly. 2 individuals have been detained by police and the investigation is ongoing. So the site is secure and there's no threat to operations. We don't know what was going on with that, but Offset got shot and this is where we are. We're going to see how that's going to go. And I've seen pictures of Cardi being at the hospital and making sure he was okay, because whether they're together or not, he is still the father of her children. So, or at least 2 of them. No social media slaves. We talked about They Will Kill You. I definitely recommend you go out and see that. Some new music, R&B releases. Let Them Know by T.I., Folded by Kehlani, Friend Do, Belly Gang, Friend Do, which is Belly Gang Cushington. It Depends by Chris Brown, Miss Trendsetter by Little Baby, Burning Blue by Mariah the Scientist, Boo by Headband, Mutt by Leon Thomas, Chanel by Tyler, and Pop That Thing by DaBaby. Those are the top 10 hot R&B songs from iHeartRadio at this particular point. And last but not least, I'm gonna give you all a Drag Race recap real quick. So the last episode was the last four contestants. They wound up doing a morning talk show called Good Morning Bitches. they had to divide up into teams because it was 4 of them. So team 1 was Mikey Meeks and Darlene. Team 2 was Nene Coco and Juicy Love Dion. Juicy and Nene just struggled. They weren't able to get it together. And then Juicy was doing all these very sexual innuendos and things. And Nene just wasn't, she was okay, but she wasn't great. But Mikey Meeks and Darlene, when I say these two were psycho and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, they were amazing. And so anyway, are we back? Because for some reason I thought we were. Okay, all right. So, but they did they had a interview segment with one of the men that is on the show, the Rue men. I can't think of what they're called right now, but anyway, a pit crew. Yeah. But then they also had the Tic Tac interview segment with RuPaul. And so that's usually when they get down towards the end where they have a Tic Tac and they're just kind of talking about things. And Ru was actually doing a painting of each one of them. But what he did was he started talking about each one of them and talking about their qualities. He was very invested in Darlene and her sobriety. He validated Mikey Meeks' underdog comeback arc. He seemed to better understand Nene's technician approach to drag because she seemed to try to make everything perfect. And then he was judging Juicy and also giving her a pat on the back, but basically saying she just needs more time to cook because she's a lot of experience and she's a lot of talent, but she doesn't quite know what to do with it. So they wound up coming out in their best drag for the final runway. Juicy's look was kind of disturbing because it looked like a gold blob, and it was like these gold pieces from a couple different things, and part of it was Morphine's drag or an homage to her. It was real crazy. Mikey Meeks had this red carpet look that had like a star situation going around it. It was cute. Darlene had this plain dress she got off the rack and a long coat, but who am I? Nene Coco's look was the look of the evening. She had this silver dress on and the silver design went up into her hair, but she had this breast piece on that were like 2 points that stuck out on the side. It was an amazing dress. Anyway, the bottom 2 wound up being Juicy and Nene Coco, and both Mikey Meeks and Darlene won. So Mikey has 4 wins and Darlene now has 2. It was a shared win, but the lip sync went off and Juicy Love Dion went down to her skivvies, basically in a 2-piece, and Nene Coco really couldn't do anything because the way her dress was constructed. But they lip synced to Chappell Rowan's super graphic ultra modern girl, which it's okay, but they were okay. But at the end of the day, Juicy wound up going home. So the top 3 are Nene Coco, Mikey Meeks, and Darlene Mitchell in your final. Next week is going to be, or this Friday is going to be a Lollapalooza of lip syncing. So they're going to have some people come back to possibly win $50,000. And then the week after that will be when we go to the final. We'll get to see who's actually crowned season 18 winner. So that's where we are with Drag Race.
Excellent. Well, that was thank you for recapping us the whole season. So it's hard to believe we're already at the final.
Yeah, and I would not have believed that it would have been these 3, but okay.
Right. Well, here we are. Well, all right, kids, it's been fun as usual. Any last words, Mr. Epic?
Listen, y'all take care of yourselves. Tell your aunts and your uncles, your mamas, your daddies, your cousins and sisters, pay their bill before the end of the semester. That's what I'm telling y'all. Pay it.
Hallelujah. Well, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you and good night. Bye.
Bye.